Today, we're building an AI voice agent that gives customer support for Shopify orders. This agent will never miss a call and it can handle multiple customers at once. Callers can simply say their order number and confirmation code, and your agent will instantly look it up in Shopify, check the status, and respond naturally. In this video, I'll show you exactly how to build this step by step with no code using n8n and Vapi. We'll also structure it so the logic is reusable, meaning you can plug the same system into chat widgets, SMS agents, or even email automations. But first, here's what it looks like in action.
Hi there, this is Emily with Haven Supply Co. How can I help with your order today?
Hi Emily, I'm curious about my status of my order.
You can tell me your order number and confirmation code, and I'll check your order status.
My order number is 1085.
Got it. Could you also share your confirmation code? It should be a mix of letters and numbers.
Z0GKIXVLL.
Thanks, let me check your order now. One moment. Your order for Beetles, Abbey Road, Swirl Purple has shipped with UPS.
Awesome, thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Let me know if you need anything else. Have a great day.
So as you just saw, the AI handled the entire support flow automatically, greeting the caller, collecting their order number and confirmation number, checking the Shopify API, and giving a real-time answer. Power here is that it runs 24/7, scales instantly, and can handle multiple callers at once, something a human rep can't match. In this video, I'll take you from zero to a custom AI voice agent connected to Shopify using just 3 tools: Vapi to configure the voice agent, n8n to build the Shopify automations, and then Shopify itself, and I'll show you how to grab your credentials for that. Now let's break down how this works behind the scenes and then build it step by step in n8n and Vapi. Okay, here's how the system works. I drew up a system design, and first off, we've got the Vapi voice agent that is instructed to act as a customer support assistant for our Shopify store/brand. It'll answer customer calls and have a natural conversation. If the customer asks about an order, the agent will request the order number and the order confirmation code. Requesting the confirmation is important for security reasons. In short, we don't want a caller to be able to know about order information for orders that aren't theirs. So to verify that the order is theirs, we're asking for the confirmation code that they received when they placed the order. Once that agent has that information, it'll use its tool to initiate this n8n workflow. The workflow validates that the order number and confirmation code are correct, and then uses the Shopify API to get the order. Then it cleans the order data, structuring it, and removing any pieces that aren't necessary to send to the agent, like the customer's address or personal information. The agent is then able to answer any questions the caller has about their order now that it has that order data. Some common answers would be like, your order is shipped, or it's still being processed. So even though the customer is talking to AI, what's actually happening is live real-time connection between Vapi, n8n, and Shopify. The first step for today's video is creating a Vapi account or logging into the one you already have. Open the dashboard and then go to the assistants page and click Create Assistant. We'll call it Shopify Order Agent. And then click Create Assistant with the blank template selected. And it's that easy to create a brand new Vapi agent. So now we have to configure it. The things to keep in mind are the cost and the latency. Anytime you make updates to the model here, or the voice you use, or the transcriber you use, these will be updated. So if I used a more expensive model here and clicked publish, you can see the cost will go up and the latency will adjust. This model up top is used for the actual thinking and the tool calling that the agent is going to do, whereas this model is used for the voice of our agent. And you can choose from a provider. Vapi has some voices built in, but I like to go with 11 Labs. And choose a voice from here. I'm just going to go with Beth for now. The next step is to configure our model and give it the first message and system prompt so that it knows how to act and how to use the tools we give it. So as for the first message, you can choose the first message mode. Assistant speaks first or assistant waits for user. If you choose assistant speaks first, then you have to define a first message. And this is the first thing that's said when the call is answered. So I'm just going to copy and paste this in. I'll leave a doc in the description where you can also copy and paste these things in if you're following along. So we say, hi there, this is Emily with Haven Supply Co. How can I help you with your order today? So if we talk to the assistant, that's the first thing it's going to say right here.
Hi there, this is Emily with Haven Supply Co. How can I help with your order today?
Awesome. Now I'll paste in the system prompt. I'm going to go through this briefly so you can understand how to set one of these up yourself, but I encourage you to go through this and make adjustments if necessary. It's always good to test your agent and adjust the system prompt if something isn't working the way you want it to. A good way to test is just open the chat here so you don't actually have to talk to the agent. You can just chat in the sidebar here. So we start off with a big heading, Haven Supply Co. Order Status Voice Agent. You are Emily, a friendly and professional voice assistant for Haven Supply Co., an online home goods store. Your only job is to help customers check the status of their orders, such as whether their order is shipped, is being processed, or cannot yet be found. So we're giving the agent a short summary of how it should act, its name, the company it's working for, and what it should do. This section goes over how the agent should sound and the personality it should have. And then we're giving it some, if the customer says this, then say this scenarios. So if the caller doesn't know what to say, follow up with, you can tell me your order number and confirmation code, and I'll check your order status. Then there's collecting information. So we're telling it that it must collect both the order number and the confirmation code before looking up any order, and that it should not proceed unless both are there. And the example prompts, we're telling it like how it could collect that information. So could you tell me your order number and what's your confirmation code? It should be a mix of letters and numbers. So just guiding the user to find that confirmation code. Once both are confirmed, say, thanks, let me check your order now. And then we're telling it to use the Get Order Status tool that we're going to give it access to here in a second. 3, responding with results. Once it gets that order data using the Get Order Status tool, we're telling it what it should say. So basically just answer the user's question and then always keep the tone friendly and clear. So definitely go through the system prompt and make updates that you think are necessary. Of course, you have to change out Haven Supply Co. with your brand name, and you can change the assistant's name. You can change how its personality is, anything you want. One thing I would add right now is helping the user find that confirmation code if they don't know where to look. So we'll say if the user can't find their code, say you can find your confirmation code in the email you received after ordering. And we'll update that and click publish. Even though we haven't hooked up the tool yet, I'm gonna give this a test. So talk to assistant.
Hi there. This is Emily with Haven Supply Co. How can I help with your order today?
Hi Emily, I'm wondering about the status of my order.
Of course, could you tell me your order number? And what's your confirmation code? It should be a mix of letters and numbers.
Yeah, my order number is 1085 and I don't know where to find my confirmation code.
No problem. You can find your confirmation code in the email you received after ordering.
So as you can see, Emily was able to guide us on how to find that confirmation code since we told her that we don't know where to find it. So we're telling the agent to use the Get Order Status tool, even though we haven't set it up yet. So the next step is going to be setting up that tool in Vapi. So let's go to Tools and click Create Tool, Custom Tool, and name this Get Shopify Order with underscores between the words and click Save. Then we can go back to our assistant, scroll down, it's super simple. You go to Tools and you select that tool you just made. So Get Shopify Order, and then you click Publish. Now this agent has access to that tool, so let's configure it. First of all, let's give it a description. I just pasted this in, fetches a Shopify order using both the customer's order number and confirmation code. And then we're defining the output example, which is the JSON with our order and status success. Like I said, we're going to be sending the order number and confirmation code. So we're going to add those as properties. Order number, and the type should be a number. And the description, we'll just type this out, Shopify order number, and click required and then apply. Then add another one, confirmation number, and the type should be string, and the description, Shopify order confirmation number, and click required and then apply, and then click save. Our tool for our agent is pretty much done, but the only problem is that it doesn't really do anything yet. And that's because we have to set up the n8n workflow and connect it to this tool via a server URL. So that's what we're going to do next. There's 2 workflows that we'll set up today. This is the first one, and then this is the second one. There's a link in the description where you can download these workflows for completely free. You'll get the .json file, and then you'll import it like this, import from file. And that way you have these templates ready to go. And this next part of the video is going to be me walking through each one of these nodes and showing you how it works. First of all, we have a webhook. Now, the reason we have a webhook is so that our Vapi tool can call this n8n workflow. At the top of the webhook, you'll see a production URL that you'll copy and paste it into the server URL field in your Get Shopify Order tool and click Save. We'll activate the workflow, and now anytime the Vapi tool gets called, it's going to call this server URL, which will initiate our webhook and start the workflow. Now, you want to make sure the webhook HTTP method is post and the respond is set to use respond to webhook node. This makes it so instead of the webhook responding immediately or when the last node finishes, it responds with the data from the respond to webhook node, which is right here. And this is the data that's going to be sent to our Vapi tool. And we'll get to that in a little bit. The next node right after our webhook is the edit fields node. So to find that node, you would search for edit fields, and there it is. We renamed it to structure data because that's exactly what it's doing. It's taking the output from our webhook, which includes our tool call list with our arguments, which contains the order number and confirmation number. And then we're just turning it into a smaller object with a lot less data. A lot of the data from the webhook is stuff that we do not need. We only need the order number, confirmation number, and tool call ID. So the way this node works is you define the properties you want in your object. So order number, confirmation number, and tool call ID. And then you define the values for each of these properties. And in our case, we just dragged in the order number and the confirmation number and the tool call ID like so. And our next node is a execute sub workflow node. So this is going to execute another workflow that you have in your n8n account. And you get to pass in certain inputs. So we're passing in the confirmation number and the order number. So from this list, you get to choose the workflow you want to use. So now we're going to look at that workflow. That's also included in the link in the description. So here it is. And our trigger is when executed by another workflow. So when this goes off, this will initiate and our workflow will start. And whatever data is returned from this workflow, we'll be able to capture and send to our next node, which is respond to webhook. So let's get into this one. Like I said, we send in the confirmation number and order number. So we're defining that here on the side. The confirmation number is a string and the order number is a number. We send that to an if node, and the if node is going to check if the confirmation number is not empty and if the order number is not empty. So we're basically just validating that both of these values exist. And if they do, we move on to the next step. But if they don't, we move on to this node, which is an edit fields node. And we're just returning a status property with an input invalid value because we want the agent to know why the order wasn't returned. So if the input is valid, we move it on to the next step, which is the find order step. This is just an HTTP request that is responsible for getting that order from Shopify. You might be wondering why we don't just use the built-in Shopify node. As you can see, it comes with the get many orders action. Well, we can't use this because it doesn't support finding orders based on the order number input. So as a workaround, we're just using the Shopify API directly in this HTTP request node so that we can find the order based on the incoming Shopify order number. So I executed the step and our order was returned from Shopify. You can see the order number here, 1085, matches up over here. There it is, order number 1085. And so now we have all this data about the order that we can pass on to the next step. But first, let me show you how to authenticate with Shopify. You're going to want to set up a predefined credential type for the HTTP request here, and then search for the Shopify Access Token API, and then click Create New Credential. You see, we need a shop subdomain, an access token, and an app secret key. So let me show you how to get all this. Here we are inside of a brand new development Shopify store I just created. You can create these for free by signing up for Shopify partners. If you're unsure how to do this, I'm sure you could use ChatGPT to help you out. So this new store I made has a bunch of products. There are snowboards, and I went ahead and created a new order so that we can use this in our tests. Anyway, let's get those credentials. You're going to go to Settings, App and Sales Channels, and then click Develop Apps, and then click Create New App. It has to be the legacy custom app, and then give it a name. So just name it n8n testing and click create new app. What you have to do first is set up the admin API integration. So click configure here, and you're going to give it the scope you want it to have. We're just going to search for products and allow it to write products and read products, and then orders, Same thing for orders, allow it to write and read orders, and then click save. Click API credentials, and then click install app and install. Here is your admin API access token. So you're gonna reveal this token and copy it. And then in n8n, you're gonna paste it into the access token field. And then as for the app secret key, you'll copy it from down here. And then for the shop subdomain, you'll find that right here in the settings. So copy this, paste it here, and remove the .myshopify.com and click save. And it should say connection tested successfully. One very important thing to do is copying the shop subdomain and pasting it right here before the .myshopify. There we go. All right, in order to test everything out, I'm gonna move the when executed by another workflow trigger up here and add just an edit fields node like this and connect it to this. And then I'll add the trigger manually node and connect that up front. And in the edit fields, we'll add the confirmation number and the order number. And in our Shopify store, like I said, we're going to use that order as a test. So click on this and copy the order number 1001 and paste that into the order number field. And then also down here, you'll find the confirmation number. So copy that, paste it here. I've removed the other trigger so that we can step through this workflow one node at a time. Let's start with the execute workflow, then the edit fields, which is going to return our confirmation number and order number. And then our if node that's going to check that they both exist, and they do. So it's going to go to the true branch. Then our find order node is going to get that order from Shopify. And now we're at this node, which is called structure order, and it's just an edit fields node. It's going to take our order and extract certain pieces of it to create this new object. We have a products array. So any products that were in the order are going to be here. Then the order ID, the total price, customer name, shipping zip code, confirmation number, order number, tracking company, tracking number, and process stat. So obviously you need to go through here and manually add in these properties with the values. You'll drag them in from the side and you'll be good to go. So the reason we're doing this is because we don't want to send all of this data to our Vapi AI agent. That's because some of the data points in this object include the customer's address, the customer's personal info. And so we don't need to send that to Vapi, and we shouldn't for security reasons. We send that structured order data to this switch node that determines what should be returned from this workflow. So for the success branch, we're checking if the order's confirmation number is equal to the confirmation number sent to us from the caller. So if it goes down this branch, we return an object with a status success and our order object. And then for the not found branch, we're checking if the order ID does not exist, because if it doesn't, then that means that no orders were found when we queried Shopify with our order number. And then for the forbidden branch, we're checking if the confirmation number is not equal to the confirmation number the caller gave us, meaning the caller's confirmation number is incorrect and they shouldn't be able to access this order information. And so both of these edit field nodes will return a status with a not found or a status with forbidden, and it won't return the order information. So let me just demo this real quick. Let me run this step, and I want the success route and then returned our order object with a status success. Now, if I go back to the start and edit this and just do a random order number here, we execute the entire workflow again. It'll go the not found route since no order was returned from our find order step. Then we'll try doing an incorrect confirmation number here. We'll click save and do execute workflow. And now it's going to go the forbidden route with a status forbidden. Okay, so I've reinstated the when executed by another workflow trigger. And now when we go back to our previous workflow, whatever's returned from that workflow that we were just on will be sent to our respond to webhook node. And this is going to just structure the output for Vapi. Vapi expects a results array with an object that contains the tool call ID. So we're grabbing that from the first node. And then the result, we're grabbing that from our previous node and stringifying the object. Our agent is finished. It has the tool it needs. It has the n8n workflow set up. So it's time to test. Let's talk to Assistant.
Hi there. This is Emily with Haven Supply Co. How can I help with your order today?
Hi, Emily. I'm curious if my order has been shipped out yet.
I'd be happy to check that for you. Could you tell me your order number? And I'll also need your confirmation code. It should be a mix of letters and numbers.
My order number is 1001 and my confirmation number is 2EQDHJCNU.
It looks like I couldn't find an order matching that number and confirmation code. Could you double-check those details and try again?
I thought I gave the correct order number and confirmation number, so let's go check the execution in n8n and see what happened. So yeah, here we are in the execution that just happened, and from what I can see, the confirmation number is in all lowercase here, and that's probably the issue. Because if we go to our sub-execution, we can see that the output from our Shopify has the confirmation number in all caps. So it's trying to compare the confirmation number in all caps to the confirmation number in all lowercase. So we're gonna have to normalize one of the two and make it so it's comparing either both of them in all uppercase or both of them in all lowercase. All right, so in the switch node, I've added the two uppercase to both the confirmation numbers when we're comparing them up top, and also do it down here. Another thing we could do is in the Get Shopify Order tool, we could edit the description for confirmation number and say, should be in all caps. Click apply and save.
Hi there, this is Emily with Haven Supply Co. How can I help with your order today?
Hi Emily, I'm curious if my order shipped out.
I'd be happy to check on that for you. Could you tell me your order number?
Yeah, it's 1001.
Thank you. And what's your confirmation code?
The confirmation code is 2EQDHJCNU.
Thanks. Let me check your order now. It looks like your order for the collection snowboard, Hydrogen, hasn't shipped yet. It's still being processed.
What was the price on that again?
Your order for the collection, snowboard, Hydrogen was $600. If you'd like help with anything else, just let me know.
Thank you, Emily. So there you go. The agent was able to give me info on my Shopify order, all from having a conversation over the phone. You can attach a phone number to Vapi and then have this agent be your business's customer service assistant right away. Earlier, I mentioned that we'd build this workflow to be reusable for other cases. Well, if you wanted to, you could take this workflow and attach it to an AI agent node as a tool, hook it up to a website chat widget. The possibilities are endless. If you want to download this workflow for free, you can join my community and download it there. I'll also include a doc with all the prompts I copy and pasted in this video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like the video and subscribe for more content like this. Also, check out this video I made. It's all about setting up a voice agent that can schedule appointments. I'll see you in the next one.